Let me ask you something that no one ever really asks you directly. The question is this: when was the last time you actually felt seen, not noticed, not liked, not followed, but genuinely, deeply recognized? Like someone understood you past the surface. For most people, the answer is either I don't remember or never. And the terrifying part, this is the most connected generation in human history. We can talk to anyone, anywhere, at any time, yet almost nobody feels emotionally touched by anyone. It's like humanity upgraded its communication but downgraded its ability to care. We're drowning in interactions but starving for connection. We have thousands of digital impressions, but barely one real relationship that feels grounding. So today, we're going to talk about the epidemic that nobody wants to admit that they're a part of. The epidemic of feeling invisible. Because loneliness today isn't the old school, I'm alone in my house loneliness. It's darker, it's silent, it's internal. It's the kind that eats you from the inside, even when you're surrounded by people. It's waking up next to someone and still feeling unknown. It's being in a friend group and feeling like the outsider. It's scrolling for hours and feeling emptier than when you started. It's posting something that you hope would matter and watching it disappear into digital nothingness. It's the fear that you could vanish tomorrow and nothing in the world would change. That's the loneliness epidemic. Not being alone, but being unseen. And the scariest part, almost everyone feels it, but everyone pretends they don't. Because nobody wants to be the first one to say, hey, I don't feel like a real person in anyone's life. So let me be the one to say it for you. This generation is emotionally starving. We're connected in every single way except the ways that matter. And we need to talk about why. Because loneliness today isn't just a feeling, it's a symptom of something much deeper breaking inside society. Something nobody wants to acknowledge. Something we all feel but can't quite explain. So let's try to explain it. Why does everyone feel invisible now? Why do we have more ways to communicate than ever, but fewer people willing to listen? Why does this world feel full, but every individual feels empty? The first truth is brutal. Connection without intimacy is just noise, and our entire world is built on noise. People talk constantly, but they never actually say anything. They text, but don't express. They share, but don't reveal. They comment, but they don't care. We built a culture where everyone broadcasts, but almost nobody receives. Everyone wants to be heard, but nobody knows how to hear others. Everyone wants attention, but nobody wants responsibility. Everyone wants validation, and nobody wants vulnerability. So we created millions of voices with no real audience, millions of hearts with no real witnesses, millions of people shouting into the void, just hoping someone gives a damn. And most of the time, nobody does. Not because people are evil, but because they're overwhelmed, emotionally overloaded, spiritually understimulated, and psychologically exhausted. Humans weren't designed to hold the stories of thousands of people. We were designed to hold a few deeply. But the world we live in is constantly demanding more of our attention than our hearts were built to carry. So mind copes the only way it can. It disconnects, it numbs out, it stops being present, it stops caring deeply, it stops forming attachments. Because if it didn't, it would break. And that's paradox. We're lonelier than ever because we're exposed to more people than ever. When everyone is in your face, nobody reaches your heart. Another reason we feel invisible, because most people aren't actually there. Their bodies are present, but their mind is staring at a screen. Their ears are open, but their attention is somewhere else completely. They're physically next to you, but emotionally unavailable. We live in a world of ghosts. People are alive, but they're not living. They're in conversations, but they're not engaged. They're in relationships, but not invested. They're in public, but trapped inside their heads. How can you feel seen when nobody is truly looking anymore? The next problem is even darker. People don't know who they are, so they can't connect with anyone else either. You can't show someone the real you if you don't even know who that is. You can't open up emotionally if you've never explored what you feel. You can't bond deeply if you've never been honest with yourself. Most people are performing a version of themselves instead of living as themselves. They're wearing masks so convincingly that even they forget it's a mask. And you can't ever be seen if you're always in costume. This is why modern relationships feel shallow. People aren't meeting each other, their personas are. Two characters interacting, two avatars socializing, two masks touching, two insecurities circling around each other but never colliding. No wonder nobody feels understood. When authenticity dies, connection dies too. And when connection dies, loneliness becomes the default human experience. Another reason loneliness is everywhere now, because everyone is terrified of going first. Nobody wants to say, I feel alone. Nobody wants to admit, I need someone. Nobody wants to risk hearing, I don't. So instead of vulnerability, we choose silence. We withdraw, we pretend, we numb out, we stay busy. We become self sufficient to a fault. We convince ourselves that we don't need anyone, and we wonder why we feel hollow. Loneliness isn't the absence of people, it's the absence of emotional risk. Nobody wants to be the one who cares more. Nobody wants to be the one who opens up first. And nobody wants to be they don't want to be the person who gets disappointed. So everyone sits behind their walls and waits for someone else to make the first move, but nobody ever does. So everyone suffers quietly, individually, collectively. There's also a deeper, darker truth. Loneliness is profitable. A lonely person consumes more. They scroll more. They buy more. They seek validation more. They fall into addictions more easily. They remain distracted. They remain uncertain. They remain obedient. When people feel empty, they fill the void with whatever they can access. And society offers plenty of cheap fillers, entertainment, trends, dopamine hits, parasocial relationships, political outrage. The system is built to keep you needy because needy people are easier to influence. This is a machine we're living in, a society that isolates you and sells you products to cope with the isolation. A society that disconnects you from intimacy and then monetizes your loneliness. we're not just lonely, we're engineered to be lonely. And that's why I feel so inescapable, because it's not just emotional, it's structural. But the deepest layer of loneliness, the one nobody talks about, is that we stop seeing ourselves. If you don't understand yourself, if you don't acknowledge your inner world, if you keep running from your own emotions, you're going to feel invisible, even in a crowded room. Loneliness isn't just a social wound, it's a spiritual one. It's what happens when you drift too far from your own soul, when you live your life performing instead of experiencing, when you treat yourself like a stranger. Feeling unseen by others hurts, but feeling unseen by yourself, that's the real damage. That's the kind of loneliness people don't come back from easily. So, why does everyone feel invisible today? Because we built a world that rewards distance and punishes vulnerability. A world where being real is risky and being numb is normal. A world where everyone is connected to the internet but disconnected from themselves. A world that replaced intimacy with exposure. We don't want to be loved anymore. We just want to be noticed. But notice is not the same as known. Like is not the same as love. And seen is not the same as being understood. And now we're paying the price. The loneliness epidemic isn't a glitch, it's a warning. A warning that we've drifted too far from what makes us human. A warning that connection has become a performance. A warning that people are living inside shells of themselves, hoping someone will knock hard enough to get in. So, if you've been feeling invisible, you're not alone. And ironically, that's the only thing that connects us all.